Well, good morning, everyone. This is the July 14th meeting of the Darien Beautification Commission, and it is 10:02 apparently. All right, it's nice to be in person, seeing everybody. Amanda Stoddard can't come this morning, but I didn't hear from, Jackie Stoddard can't come. I didn't hear from Amanda, so she may still turn up. But we have quorum, lots of us here. And first thing I want to do was introduce Lauren because, and maybe Colleen too, because I'm not sure who's actually met anybody.
Well, we met Colleen at Baskets.
Yeah.
Yes.
And at
Amy's Smile.
Virginia, yeah.
But then Lauren wasn't at Baskets, but she was at Amy's Smile. So we've been sort of meeting in groups. One day we'll be all 9 in the same room. That'd be good to get back to normal. Anyway, so first thing to do is to prove. Oh, Joy's not here either, is she?
No.
I just realised. Okay.
Did
Well,
she forward you the minutes?
yeah, I have the minutes, and there are a couple of questions I had for her on them. So maybe we'll just go down to the next item on the agenda. And today's meeting's not very meaty, so we'll go quickly. But when Joy comes, we'll go back to the minutes. So I have perfect, thanks. The second item, an update on the staircase. Well, I don't actually have an update on the staircase. So all I know is that it's still in complete disarray. And every time I go, there's one more board or one more piece of concrete there. I stopped asking for an ETA on when it's going to be done, but I was optimistic that this month's cleanup could actually take place there, but I think it's a little pointless until we actually have, until the stairs are done. In the meantime, we did order some plants for the berm at the railroad station, and I think Elizabeth and I went down this morning and positioned them because we didn't think it was going to be feasible for all of us to actually plant them. Some of them are really big, red dogwoods. And good morning. We just started. Lauren, this is Amanda. And Amanda, I think you met everybody else. We positioned the plants that we bought from Earth Tones, beautiful native plants all from this area. We've put them around at the berm, and Wilma's busy planting and pulling out fresh weeds that have grown up since we had our last clean up there. This time it's bindweed and the mugwort's coming back, and of course the Japanese knotweed.
It's just,
The constant struggle.
my garden, it's terrible.
Yes, we've got lovely plantings there, and it looks like all we did was plant bindweed because it's just snuggled around them. Anyway, so in terms of the next cleanup, we sort of tentatively agreed that maybe we could do it on the Friday after our meetings, and I don't know if anybody's up for doing anything this Friday. I'm around.
Yeah, I'm around.
I can't.
So you can?
No, I cannot.
I can't. All right. Well, if we have a few.
But I'll come there and I'll do something during the week.
All right, that's lovely. So I was thinking that maybe we should concentrate at Town Hall, since Wilma's doing the berm, and we did a great job on Amy's Smile Garden, which
was a nice picture.
Yeah, in the paper.
Very nice.
I forgot to give credit to George, who took the photo.
That's it.
He said, that's fine. So maybe on Friday then we could concentrate here at Town Hall.
Thank you.
The Veterans Circle's got some mugwort and other weeds in, and I thought we could look at that and maybe decide if we ask the Garden Club to provide a few more plants. Lucia and I thought that we could leave wood chips in front of one of the benches, but a lot of weeds are coming up, and I don't think people actually walk over the wood chips to get to the benches. There is a path. So I think we talked about that, didn't we? Yeah. So maybe we could put
putting flags down in front of the bench.
Yeah.
Just
and then we'll just weed in between the flags.
Well,
yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Or something, bricks or flagstone or something, so that it's in front of the bench.
Yeah, so your feet aren't on the grass, and you've got to. Actually, that's not a bad idea. And
keeps the weeds down, at least in that 4-foot area.
Yeah, and Garden Club's allocated about 7,000 to that. We've spent very little of that. So maybe I could ask them if we could have a little bit of money for flagstone. I think that's a very good idea. Because then it'll be more obvious where you sit, where you put your feet, which way
which way you're facing.
Yeah. Okay, good idea.
And people get married there, so that would be nice for them too, to be standing on flags.
Well, then they should weed
it
before the wedding. Spruce it up.
Yes, I've seen it many times.
Charge
yeah.
them rent.
Really? I've seen that. Oh, I love
Yes,
that idea.
yeah, it's so cute,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay. All right, well, definitely keep it clean and that. All right, and then I had this topic, ideas for new projects for the commission, and that was really based on a conversation I've had with Lauren, who's been talking to, sorry, I surprised you. Lauren's been talking to the advisory committee on sustainability, and there may be nothing, but I was wondering if there were any kind of projects other than cleanups that we as Beautification might feasibly get involved with. But I don't know if you've come across anything in your discussions.
Yeah, I mean, I think, dotted line related to what we're doing with the cleanups, I think something like simple rain barrels or composters could fall into our purview if that's the road we want to go down. Education events or giveaways or purchasing such things. I like the idea we discussed about maybe painting rain barrels.
I do like that idea. I like the idea of working with the advisory committee and supporting their sustainability efforts. My only hesitation is to make sure we're not preferring a vendor, but they would be subject to the same limitations. So if we're working with them, I like the idea of promoting rain barrels, especially given the storm we've just had. And
My basement served as one.
Hmm?
What? My basement served as a rain barrel.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it'd be nice to have, other than basements that catch mold, actually, where you can actually use the water. And I mean, it seems to me like if every household in Darien had a rain barrel, 30 to 50 gallons, it would save a huge amount of water from rushing off into the streets. I know it's not going to solve every problem, but it's a good start. It does sort of raise awareness. So do you want to pursue that and see if we can't figure out an event?
Yeah, I guess the question would be, would you want to gear it toward kids and have like a kids event or an adult event?
Well, I think it could be both, couldn't it? If the question is really how do we supply the rain barrels, and if we were to work with Aquarian, for example, that seems to me kind of a logical partner. And I know they sell their rain barrels early in the season,
Yeah.
but we could maybe we could pick up the ones that aren't sold if there are any, and it could be a family event. Parents buy.
Who's selling them?
Aquarium.
Aquarian?
Well, I was thinking it because they're
What do they
utility.
sell them? How much do they sell them for?
It's something cheap, about $79. I mean, they're not
Sounds about right.
they're not
How big
pretty.
are they? How, like,
They're
I think they're 55.
55 gallons.
Yeah.
They're sort of a orangey terracotta colour, but clearly plastic with black rims. So I think the painting idea is really good.
Yeah.
Much you look
Yeah,
attractive.
definitely.
Yeah.
But you could do that. Maybe kids could paint them, and you could buy a more attractive rain barrel, or we could have the supplies there, so someone could buy, and then the kids can paint it on the spot.
Yeah. So it'd be like a paint your own kind of thing, or
Or just if Aquarian were willing, or whoever our partner is, they could be painted and sold the same day. So somebody could be painted and.
What kind of plastic is it though? Painting plastic can be.
Yes, it'd have to be, well, that's a whole other sustainability
plastic.
question.
Right,
yeah, would you want to use aerosols? That's
right.
No,
right.
not, yeah, I wouldn't want aerosol, but there's latex or, I don't know, every time, if I say the words, it's going to sound awfully not sustainable. We can do etchings.
Yeah, so I think I've done this before. They come out really cute.
Yeah.
When you have that. We did use some spray paint at that event. This was
I'd rather not do that because.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know if there's a environmentally friendly paint that will actually stick to the.
Yeah, you
plastic.
could get like a low VOC paint.
I suppose we could do decals.
Stickers of some sort.
Because at
Their
least,
logo.
yeah,
Mhm.
our logo. Oh,
Their
yes,
logo.
our logo.
Ah,
That's a good idea.
and then just sell them with our logo on it, or or paint in addition to.
Well, I think we'd have to put lots of logos on.
Yeah.
Lots of logo, lots of pictures. But logo wouldn't be bad if we could do that legitimately. So do you want to run with that
Yeah,
and
sure.
just let us know
can
how
ask
it's
We,
feasible?
yeah, we want to do it outside before it gets
Yes.
cold,
Yeah.
so time flies, we know.
Or it may even have to be, I mean, I don't know, it may even have to be a spring thing, because the
Right.
other issue is that as it gets colder, obviously not yet, but in the winter you have to empty them. So maybe the whole idea of having someone buy them and not be able to use them,
Right.
you might lose
And
interest.
sit in the
So-
garage like a big.
Yes,
thing.
exactly, and then never get put up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think there'd also have to be some education around.
yeah, I think it would take a lot of planning, and I don't think that, apart from the weather, that there's a huge rush. It would be better to do it really well
Mhm.
and get more traction and really think it through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we could make a deal though with Aquarian to get a discounted price,
Mhm.
you know, put feelers out and maybe say if we were to buy 75 of them or 100 of them, whatever, to come up with a figure, what's the lowest price you could get them to us for?
Probably we should work with the green team or the nature center.
Mhm.
It seems to me it should be a broader than.
oh, no, absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely,
yeah.
because Laura and I have been talking about it in my role as chair of Pollinator Pathway, and I totally agree that a combined effort would be much more successful, I think, reach a lot more people.
More visible.
We could even do it, I mean, the Nature Centre has their Spring into Nature Festival each spring. So we could maybe combine it with that,
Piggyback
just have
on
another
that.
station,
Yeah,
because
that'd be nice.
the advisory committee had, they had a composting table last year. So maybe this could be a really nice addition to that event. And that gives us time to plan, and it's better timing, I think, than rushing something through for September when people aren't really going to
And
get
then
the
you're
benefit.
putting them away.
Yes, yeah.
That's in May?
Sorry?
That's the festival?
It's in April.
You could probably incorporate something into Earth Day with it as well.
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah.
I think,
part of
actually,
that.
Like Earth Day
you're right.
thing.
Like
Yes.
June was
Earth Day
Pride
is
Month,
happy.
maybe we do
Ooh,
April as,
Yeah,
you know, Green Month.
Yeah.
I like
That's a
that.
good idea, and then you
If-
can have different dates.
If we did buy that many, would you have a place to store them?
Your house.
Tracy?
I'm off.
That's a lot of space, if you
That's
just
a lot.
say we got 75 or
Well-
something. I mean, that's.
Yes, that's a very good question. Maybe they could just deliver them on the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And also, what do you think about like if we had a couple of rain barrels at the berm and then like
But there's
can you
no-
attach a hose? Can you attach a
You
hose to
can, you
them
need the water
and then
pressure
the
those.
water?
They have to be very big and very full, raised up to get the water pressure for a hose. Otherwise you really have to use a watering can.
Okay.
And also there's no building there. So you normally put them under a downspout on a building.
Oh,
take the
right,
water
right,
out of
right,
the building.
right. Yes.
It could fill with rain, but when it's not directed, it takes a lot longer to fill.
Yeah, that's true. And then we'll just get mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Do they have covers? Is that?
Yes, they have little grills so that the water can go through and then any kind of sediment stays on the top.
There's a mosquito oil you can use in them, like a safe
Oh, neat.
mosquito oil. Yeah, because I've heard that question from them.
Oh, that's cool.
What about as another project, and we, you know how the senior center has the woodworking class and
Yes.
stuff? What if we did birdhouses with the senior center with the woodworking group?
Oh, yes, I think that's a really good idea. Because they're back in action now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think. I had been thinking about that in another context, which is escaping me now, but I think that'd be a great idea because then it's win-win, especially coming down to our next topic about confirming that we want to use some of our capital account for birdhouses, it would be fantastic to buy them from the senior centre. And,
Or buy the materials and have the senior center
yes, yeah.
do
I
a
think-
class in making them. And they could
Yeah.
also do the butterfly, or the bee houses too. you
Yes.
know, So,
Yeah, well, let's, okay, so we can get on to the next topic. So you'll run with that and report back. I do think the timing for spring is going to be a little bit better, because then we
Yeah.
can really plan, we can talk with other groups, and maybe it won't, if we go the route of pre-buying the barrels, if we're with other groups, then we can all share that upfront expense, can't we? And it may be better just to have some sample barrels and have the people order them directly, so that we're not having to buy and then run the risk of
not selling them.
not selling them.
Right.
This is definitely something for later on, because
Yeah.
the logistics
It's a lot,
are
yeah.
quite complicated
It's a lot.
with a third party.
It's
Okay,
our first meeting all back together,
yeah,
other than meeting. I mean, it's our first official real meeting.
yes,
And I think it's, lay this as the groundwork for things that we're planning to do for the end of this year and
Yes.
for next year.
yeah. And I think I'm beginning to get really active, and I love the fact that we're doing our monthly cleanups, because it's a good event to hold, and it's good for all of us to get together and be very visible. Okay, so the birdhouses, we all pretty much agreed that was a good use of some of the money in our capital account, I think, didn't we?
I don't know, it feels a little bit, off. I'm not sure how I see us being involved with birdhouses, but distributing them or?
No, no.
For sale?
Well, what we had talked about at the last meeting, and Tracy might have something else in mind, was putting birdhouses up at the berm, so that we are, encouraging all the biodiversity we're creating with all the native plants there. One or two could go there, and one or two on the slopes when the staircase is finished, because we have so much, so many butterflies, so many birds visiting. It might be nice to have a couple of birdhouses there too, just to give them, some real shelter. Now, I think if we're all happy with that, then wouldn't be a huge expense, especially if we source them through the senior centre. Do you have another idea for building on that idea you wanted to?
Well, I know that the senior center does that woodworking class.
Yeah.
And birdhouses always seem to be a thing that they make in those classes,
Yeah.
And we might be able to approach the senior center to see if they would be, if we were maybe to supply the material for the class, maybe they could get a group together to make birdhouses, and we could find some sort of a pattern that they could or maybe they have a pattern.
Yeah, they come.
They probably do,
Yeah, they
since
come
they,
up.
do woodworking things.
Yeah. What I've done in the past is just gone around there and said, I'd like 3 bat houses, and they just make them for you. And so that's what I've done. I haven't attended the class or anything. It's just that woodworking
Right.
shop behind the senior centre, and they say, oh, that'll be $20 or something really
Yeah,
reasonable.
And that's possible too, but,
Yeah.
rather than being involved, with getting the material, maybe we just buy them directly from the senior center.
Yes, well, that's what I was thinking in terms of the ones at the berm and the slopes here. But I wasn't sure if you had whether you were talking about another project where we would be sourcing more
No.
birdhouses. Oh, all right.
No,
okay.
no, I
All
don't
right.
want to go into birdhouse selling
I think that's
mode.
what Sue was asking. I thought we were in
Yeah.
birdhouse distribution business or something.
No.
Aren't there specific types of birdhouses available for specific types of
Yes.
birds, or would
Yeah.
it just be general?
I don't know what they have. As Tracy said, they're very skilled woodworkers or carpenters, and I'm sure if we asked for a wren box, they'd be able to do it, or a bluebird.
Right, they're definitely designed to attract
Mhm.
different ones.
Yes, that would be a good idea actually, to have a couple different types. And I've also heard that it is better to have more than one, because apparently even different bird species offer babysitting services to other birds. So when you group them, you've created a little community where
It takes a village.
parent bird, yes, it takes a village. Bird can go off to forage, and there's someone left at home to
Watch
babysit.
for the
Mm.
hawks.
Yeah.
Or could we add like in maybe an owl box or two, which, I mean, I know owls need the territory, like I'm thinking like the nature center area, it could be kind of fun to throw something like that in. It's along the lines of woodworking and.
Yes, I don't know. I haven't, apart from the goldfinches on the slopes, I rarely see owls. I mean, maybe that's because they don't have enough
They're
homes.
around, but I'm not
Yes.
sure that they use birdhouses.
I know that's something that I feel like I know a squirrel could obviously move into this owl box, but I don't know, depending on if there was the territory, which they need a lot of territory, they need a lot of
Yes.
open land.
Somewhere like the Mather
Right.
meadow. That,
You know.
We should check with Audubon about owl. I don't know about owl. I've never heard of owl houses. Truly.
There's
Maybe
boxes.
when we do the meadow here, maybe we could
And,
incorporate
you know,
owl
owls
houses.
are big predators of all the smaller birds. I didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
That's
but
true.
also the little ones that destroy our plants too.
Yeah,
I
rabbits.
wonder if the sustainability study had done anything related to biodiversity and looked at the different species of birds, like the ones that we want and need more of.
Yes, you know who has probably studied that is Chris Vilmer. He runs the Friends of Selleck's Wood and was at the Land Trust. He's really, really knowledgeable about that, so he would be someone we could ask. That would actually be a very good idea for determining what houses we put up at the berm and on the slopes here. That's a very good idea. I'm sure I will see him soon, but I'll get in touch with him. And then that's an excellent idea, because then we're doing something that's very meaningful. I mean, any bird box is good, but to have something where we feel we're really targeting what we know is visiting would be excellent. Okay, well, I'm a little worried about the minutes because we don't have Joy here. But there's just one typo, your name, Sue. And the other question I had was, and again, we need Joy for this. She says that the empty windows baton has been passed to Darian Art's Lucy Whitaker, and I just wasn't clear that did Joy mean that she wasn't going to, that we wouldn't be involved anymore in this, and that somebody else is taking over?
That's kind of what it sounds like.
It did.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this
I'm not
is
sure.
great. Okay. Well, maybe what I'll do then, if you're all comfortable with.
Well, she didn't send it to all of us,
Oh, she didn't.
right?
I don't think I saw the
I haven't
minutes.
seen the minutes.
Shoot. All right. Okay. Well, I've got one copy here, but that's not going to be very feasible, is it? Then we'll leave the draft up. We'll approve these at the next meeting. Okay. I'm going to send to everybody. I'm so sorry. I thought you'd all had it. That the only change I would make is just the spelling of your name, which is okay, isn't it? And I'll send it around to everybody and we'll just approve it at the next meeting, then we'll leave the drafts up on the town website. Okay, Tracy, budget.
Well, I passed around where we stand financially. We did get the money into our line account for the 2022 year, because our fiscal year ended 6/30.
Yep.
So if you look at Beautification Commission line account up top, it says $5,300. That's the money we are unfortunately forfeiting. So we have to spend more next year. But we did a pretty good job.
We can do it.
We can do it. We did a pretty good job of it because last meeting it was like
Yes.
it was about $14,000. So we were able to. We paid Wilmer, we paid Elder, we paid a 50% deposit on Mow Green.
Oh yes, just so everybody knows, Public Works has said that we, the Beautification Commission, can look after the grass in the Veterans Circle and all of the grass to the side of the slopes, because they have traditionally done a weed and feed program, which is a synthetic fertilizer. And I'm very concerned about that because of our new sign going up saying that our slopes are maintained chemical free. And so they, Ed has allowed us to take over as an experiment to see if we can look after the grass organically. So we've been working with Mow Green, which is a lawn service company that uses electric mowers that they charge using solar energy, and they only use organic treatments for lawn. And so we'll see how that goes, and if it all looks terrible, Ed will take it away from us. And if we do a good job, maybe our reach will get even further. But anyway, I think that's a great result, and
it wasn't very costly. It was about $1,500 for the year, for this year. And we sent them a 50% deposit the end of June for $757. So it's not horribly expensive for this experiment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, that I think he's very good. He itemized all of the different expenses, and I don't think that we're going to need all of those. So that I think the cost, the eventual cost, will come down, and they feel very confident that they can make it look good. And we talked. I don't know if any of you have seen. There's at the bottom of the grass, there's a really muddy patch that all the water collects there, and I was thinking that maybe we could suggest that we do a rain garden there, just put some water loving plants down there that would make it look pretty, and also just help absorb some of that runoff. But that's just an idea. Talk about it.
And Tracy, I never got my reimbursement. I don't know whether you put that through for the 2 signs.
Oh, wait, there's 2, on our line account, there's 2,
2 signs for $150.
yeah, signs of success.
Mm-hmm.
But that shouldn't be in this account, that should be in the Adopt a Garden, shouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah, so this needs to come out of Adopt a Garden.
Let me check with Selena on that, because
Yeah.
I thought I had put that through. That was being reimbursed, was that being reimbursed to you?
Mhm.
Okay, all right, I'm new at this treasurer stuff, and I'm finally
That's a lot.
starting to get a little bit more organized, and I'm gonna actually put a spreadsheet together like Christy used to do,
Mm.
so we can see the different accounts and the expenditures each month from the account, so.
I think that'd be great if we could have a spreadsheet that shows outflows and inflows, because then we'll be in much better control
Yeah.
of our budget. We'll know what we can spend on each item. We'll know how much we've got left for the rest of the year, and we can spend appropriately. I wonder whether this money has gone to Signs of Success. If you haven't received payment, that means they've received.
No, I paid them.
Well, I'm just saying that the 2 entries on
Oh,
Trace's sheet
Yeah.
say it's gone to Signs of Success.
whoop.
Yes. They're keeping quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
No,
So
'cause
Tracy,
they wouldn't
you'll-
let me take the signs unless I paid them, you know.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess we've got to figure out who got the payment, and anyway, it has to come out of a different account.
Well, actually, that was good though, because it saved us losing that money.
It's going to go, Tracy. It's going to go.
All right. I'm trying to keep all of my expenditures in this one folder for this year, but we'll see.
So our other accounts are still pretty healthy, aren't they? I mean, Amy Smart Garden has 8,037.
Yeah, but that's never gonna get funded again,
Right.
so.
But I think the work that we did last month on that was pretty substantial, and I also, Pollinator Pathway has given Elizabeth a few, I say Elizabeth, but a few butterfly weeds for that garden too, and we'll have extra plants towards the end of the season, and we'll put them there. That will help the budget. We, Pollinator Pathway. Okay. Does anybody have anything else?
Oh, Joy is at a lacrosse tournament.
Oh.
She thought it was a dial-in, so that's where she is.
I get, all of you need to take my name out of your junk mail. Yes. I go to everybody's junk. Nobody knows what a meeting is.
I know Jackie couldn't make it because
She
daughters
emailed,
had the shot and they're sick as can be. So
Yes,
I
yeah.
said, don't worry, stay at home with the girls.
Yeah, I told her I was sick of both my shots.
Yeah.
So I know you can't come on Friday, but if we want to work, do you want to say 9 till 11 or something? You don't, I mean, those hours are totally flexible, of course.
I can't come Friday, I have to take my daughter to camp.
Yeah.
Private
Oh,
training, so
don't
I'm
worry.
sorry, I can't.
No, that's fine, and Tracy can't come either, but I'm quite eager to just clean up
I
the
could come
veterans.
for a little bit. I've got
Yeah.
something at 10:30.
And it's not hard and fast. You can come earlier, you can come later, you can
Where were we going?
Oh, well, we were just talking about the Veterans Circle and in the concrete planters around the side of the circular driveway. There's a lot of weeds in there.
I can come, I just have to leave at like 10:20.
Yeah,
But I'll meet you at the
absolutely fine.
veteran circle,
Yeah.
that's.
Where's the veteran circle? Sorry.
Oh, it's right. It's the
Just
flagpole
right here.
garden.
Oh,
As
it's
you
here.
come-
That
Yes.
little
Oh,
circle
okay.
in the
Yeah.
middle of where you park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where people get married, apparently.
Yes. And I'll just come early because I have a class from 10 to 11.
That's
So
all
I'll
right.
just come at, 8.
All right. You don't have to.
I'm an early
No?
bird.
All right. Oh, you are an early bird, aren't
Yes.
you? Yes. Okay. Well, I think that's it then. It was short and sweet. Ms. Tracy, do you have anything else?
What about the logo?
Oh, the logo. The logo.
yeah.
Oh, yes. Now I didn't print it out.
I did, but it came, for some reason mine went not in color, so it's not as nice.
Well, yeah, and I brought my
pulled it up
laptop.
on- I brought my iPad just in case we wanted to look at it again.
So we have
Cute.
the town's official symbol, Beautification Commission, well that says committee, Beautification Commission underneath that. Or we have the words, the name, Darien Beautification Commission with a butterfly on the eye. And the other one was that it?
That was it, really.
That was
I mean,
it, there was
was
just
there, yeah.
lots of them.
Yeah.
I did.
You like the butterfly.
I didn't.
I like the butterfly was my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
I
good.
love the butterfly.
Yeah.
I think
me too.
that's
Because you
what-
think of flowers, beautification flowers right away, but butterflies, there's something just,
Yeah.
oh, if you
I
love
like the butterfly
butterflies.
too, I thought the
Yeah.
butterfly was
I
very
I didn't like
graceful.
the one with the flower at the
One of
beginning.
these meant to be a butterfly?
I didn't like the flower upside
There's
down.
two set, there's a couple
Right.
different sets.
I just saw the flowers.
That's the only one that I received.
Yeah, that's the only one I saw.
Can you
Yeah,
share this?
it's not an,
It doesn't
Oh,
matter,
wait.
just, they'll see.
Let's see if I can get it in the cover.
Oh wait,
It's right there.
Yeah,
did
the
I
next page.
misremember this? Oh, no, here we go.
Yeah.
I
that's
like
just
that better than the
printed in.
flower.
Thank you.
Look at this one that's
Yeah.
coming soon.
Seriously.
So it's Darien with a butterfly over the eye.
Who did those?
Yeah, who did them?
Right.
It's the same lady, Pam Chin, who did the
Oh, okay.
sign that
Uh-huh.
is sitting
Oh.
in Public Works.
Works.
I hope that didn't get flooded.
It did. Down here by the field.
No, the sign, wherever they've stored that, I hope it didn't get flooded. Although it's waterproof, so it should be fine.
Hopefully it just didn't get thrown out with everything that they threw out. Public Works and Park and Rec actually got flooded down at the town garage
Yeah.
over the weekend with that
Oh,
heavy rain.
gosh.
Well, I'm not sure where our sign is, but it's the sign that we had made for the slopes. Big sign, about 3 foot by 4 foot. And Pam Chin, it was a friend of Lucia's, and she donated all her time to draw this. She's a graphic designer. We have a picture of all of the plants, and then we have some writing about why we're doing these plantings. And then in the corner, it's so long since I've seen it, but I seem to recall we chose one of those designs, Darien Beautification Commission. So when the staircase is done, Ed will put that up for us, and it should look really spiffy. Anyway, so we all like this one.
The one with the butterfly. Well, I think
Yeah,
it
that's
it lends
I like that
itself
better
quite,
than the flowers.
yeah, it lends itself quite nicely too because we're doing so many native
Yes,
things.
Yes,
yes.
You know, so.
All right, well
That's what I
that's
think too.
great.
I do like the town logo with our name.
I like that
underneath it.
too. It's very serious looking, isn't it? Maybe
Yeah.
we can have two.
Are we gonna have business cards printed up for all of us?
Well, I was just thinking, I mean, we don't really communicate with anybody.
Well, except that I've used stationery, I just used the
Yes.
town stationery. I
Yes.
just created, you know, they sent me the logo and I
Right,
just printed
right.
it up.
So you could use that, the town logo, then just this one, and I'll send it around in a format that, you know, you can just pop onto your letterhead. I'll send it to everyone. I still have to communicate with one of our
They're not gonna
landscapers.
use directly.
Amanda, did you see that?
I did.
It said
Yeah.
paid on there, you know, both those invoices said paid. They reimbursed me the last time when I sent that in.
So,
Anyway,
I'll call Signs for Success and let them know.
well, I can call.
I have to step out.
Yes, that's
We
fine.
have
Well, I think
yeah,
we're
I
adjourned,
just-
so it's 10:40 and motion to adjourn. Colleen, seconded. Elizabeth, perfect.